What's going on, guys? It's Groove, back with part 3 of Think Like a Monk. So in this part, we're going to go over giving. So in part 1, if you haven't checked that out, we went over what it means to let go. And then in part 2, we went over growth and how to grow into our purpose. And so for part 3, we're going to go over giving and what that means. So when it comes to giving, he wants to let you know that the biggest way you can give is gratitude. You need to give gratitude for life, for where you are, and just be appreciative for everything in your life. People that give the most gratitude, it's linked to better mental health and better relationships and a more fulfilling life. Giving gratitude also helps you overcome bitterness and pain. When you're grateful, when you're constantly grateful for life, your brain gives off dopamine, or it releases dopamine, which can lead to happiness. So just being grateful for what you have, where you are. Did you eat today? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have clothes on your back? Just being grateful for where you are in life will release dopamine, which creates happiness. He says we should all strive at making gratitude a daily part of our routine, like always showing gratitude for life, always being grateful for life. We need to be grateful for every situation, not just the good stuff, but also the bad stuff. If you're doing something at work and you get tasked with another project that you have to do, he says be grateful in the bad times. And he says that this can be worked on. Like he says, gratefulness is like a muscle and you can work on it. And then over time, you will just be grateful for life in its entirety, the good and the bad. We're just grateful for the whole thing. He says we need to learn to stop judging the moment. As soon as we label something as bad, our mind automatically starts to believe that. Now, again, if you get tasked with another job or a project at your job, instead of thinking, oh my goodness, something else that's on my plate, now your brain just automatically goes to bad and negativity. If we just, reverse that thinking and, we're grateful, another project to overcome, another challenge to face, another thing to conquer, that changes our brain into gratefulness, into positivity. You don't have to be sarcastic with it, like, oh, I lost my job, I'm so grateful. But he says, when you change your mind, when you change your perspective on things and you're like, okay, I lost my job, but I know there's more opportunities out there. I know that, things will work out. I know I'm going to find another job. Things will be okay. He says that shifts your mind into just being grateful at every step, every stage. You're just grateful for, life, even if things don't go your way or even if things are bad. One of the most basic ways to show gratitude is just by saying thank you. Just say thank you daily. When you're in the grocery store and, somebody's trying to help you out, say thank you. If you're in a restaurant and somebody refills your drink, say thank you. When you're presented with new opportunities at work, say thank you. Just constantly say thank you. When you're constantly thanking other people, this is the easiest way to show gratitude. And with, again, this chapter on giving, he says the highest purpose that we can have in our life is to give back, to live a life of service, no matter what that is. You're in music, you're giving back with your music. If you're a teacher, you're giving back. That's where we find our purpose and our meaning. Having meaningful life is when we give back to others. And with that, when we're living a life of service, it connects us to other people. It always amplifies gratitude in our lives. It builds self-esteem. And also, helping others in this world, it tells you that you're making a difference. If you're just constantly helping others, you feel like you're making a difference, making the world a better place. And if we all did that, think of what the possibilities of how great this world could be if we all just lived in service for one another. This world that we live in, for some reason, it's just take. Like, what can I get out of it? I got to get mine before you get yours. And he says the natural human way, it is the most natural way for us to be human is to give in service, is to help others. He says that's natural. The way that we naturally are is to give. So it's weird that we live in this world where it's just take today. And then you wonder why everybody's so depressed and everybody's got mental health issues and nobody's feeling happy. And also, with living a life of gratitude and a life of service, it also allows you to see the world through love and duty. When we see the world through love and duty, that's more likely to lead us down a path of happiness. When you're giving to others, when you're living a life in service, you don't have time to complain and criticize. And when you're never complaining and criticizing and you're just living a life in service, you just constantly feel grateful. And when you're constantly grateful and living a life in service, that is how you lead to a more meaningful life. So that's pretty much it for part 3 on how to live a life of service and giving back and how that can create a meaningful life. And that pretty much sums up Thinking Like a Monk. I really enjoyed this book. I loved how simple he made it, how he broke it down into 3 sections. If people really knew this and understood this, or if they read this book, so many people wouldn't have to waste time in therapy. But yeah, so that's it for this one. Again, I really enjoyed this book. Hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.